Guys, I do a lot of expensive builds. This is not going to be one of them. The Redcat Danchee cost me $130. Well, that's also my budget. So I can put $130 into this. The goal is to have it follow anything on this rack out there at the Exitplex. Once I achieve that goal with the budget, tight budget, we're talking 260 tops for everything. Once I achieve that, then it could be anything. But anyway, for right now, we're going to get this opened up and I'm going to get a good look at it and get my thoughts on it. Take a look. I bought one of these for the grandson for Christmas and I thought it was actually pretty neat. Lightweight, MOA. Let's go ahead and get the body off of this and get a better look at it. And here it is. Now, it has a 1500 milliamp 2S battery. That's actually not bad at all. I may try to put a 3S on it, but before we get to there, let's go ahead and run it like it is. As far as the charging goes, we're going to go ahead and have to add the cost of a few different battery plugs. These are not going to stay. Not even a little bit. I'll probably give it a charge though. That way at least it's charged on these plugs. Looking at it, tires, they feel really stiff. And with the vehicle being as light as it is, I don't see these tires giving much at all. But I really want to save money on this. I can't just go throwing money at it. And these are 2.2s. As far as the shocks and suspension goes, down to about right there is where I'm going to want it. And I'll try to get that with just by moving the shocks around. I don't want to get into a whole lot with it. Try to keep everything as dirt cheap and simple. Servos. Okay, it's got the 15 kg hex flies. Now, these are probably going to go. Redcat has a rebranded 25 kg servo. I've got a couple of them. I'll have to figure the budget in for those, but these are more than likely going to go away for sure. I also found some motors because I've been kind of watching some of the Danchee Facebook groups, and they found some motors and I looked them up and they're only like $7 a motor. So pretty cheap, but first we got to run it like this. I can't go crazy on the mods. Okay, I will I will move the shocks before I run it. Now, the thing about this, with it being an MOA, is there should not be any torque twist on the chassis. So all of this right here should just give a massive amount of articulation. It shouldn't have body roll. The body is fairly light. Shouldn't have to do much with it. And I'm going to keep the body. I'm not going to swap bodies or anything like that because that's an unnecessary expense to make this thing perform. Looking at the receiver and all that, it looks like it's a receiver ESC combo. Now, with this thing being an MOA, you're going to have a little bit of what's called a clod stall. Basically, when you're climbing up, the back motor is going to stall out and the front motor is going to keep spinning because it'll obviously be lighter. So, yeah, it kind of happens. Not that big of a deal, really, but I think maybe once I get done with the initial build to make this thing perform, I'm going to probably put dual ESCs in this, a whole different radio. I'll keep the four-wheel steering. Kind of do a little bit of some kind of a dig with it, where I can actually dig the front to the back or back to the front, however I want to do that. That's all possible with just the ESCs on this thing. And I've got a couple 1080 ESCs, but that's not for now. I'm already having to talk myself out of mods. Axle shafts. They are dog bone. And they are really, really small diameter right there. Granted, this thing only has a 380 size motor, so it doesn't have a whole lot of motor. I have seen where guys have messed up the gears inside. But, you know, if we keep it light, I think we'll be okay. Yes. So you know what? Initial thoughts are it's actually okay. Gotta show you guys the radio. It does have settings, trim settings for the front steer, rear axle, rear steer and all that. Throttle trim. Now you can actually select modes on this for your steering. 4-wheel steer, crab, and all that. Very primitive, but if it works, I think I'm gonna have to keep it on here just for budgetary reasons. Now you do get a good old 4-way wrench. Looks like a couple spare servo savers. There's your charger. It charges off of a USB right into the balance port. I'm gonna charge using a regular charger. Okay, well guys, I got it down a little bit and it wasn't in these. I should pay more attention in the Facebook groups in all honesty. Going through looking at pictures of wildly modified trucks. Those guys, they've taken this thing to some pretty awesome levels. You move it down to here, it doesn't mess with anything. You start getting into bind on these up on the mount right here. So leaves a little bit to be desired as far as adjustments go. As far as bringing it down, we are down a pretty good bit, but I just simply pulled these off. So these springs are actually on there. So yeah, guess we'll just have to see how it runs like this. But I'm definitely going to want to do something with that. May look around, see if I can find some shorter springs, or just pay attention more in the group for this thing. But the battery is charged, so that means we get to actually take this thing out for a drive. Well, let's go ahead and give it a pull. It's definitely mild. 4-wheel steer. Now the way you do the 4-wheel steer is you have to push this button right here to cycle through the different steering modes. There's crab, rear steer only, push it again. Now you're in front steer. So of course I already want to change the radio. I don't see any way to set endpoints. I can see trim. Yeah, I don't see any way to set endpoints on this. I automatically want to change that radio, but I've got to be careful. I've got a budget. Now let's see what we got here. Yeah, these tires, they are super hard. Definitely got some clod stall going right there. Now you can use that clod stall to your advantage. Almost like a dig, almost. But these tires, they've got to go, and I've got, well, I like to crab steer it over right there, but driving one-handed with this radio isn't so good. One thing about the motor system that it's got in it, it is very mild, so probably keeps everything alive. So we're gonna try to creep through the little V right here. I got my hopes up for this thing. I really want it to do good. Seeing a bunch of stuff that needs to be addressed. Trying to keep this in budget is going to be a bit of a challenge. Luckily, there isn't a whole lot on the market for it. At least not what I have found. All right, first set of rocks done. All right, let's see what we got here for drag brake. These wheels, they may be a 2.2, they may be wide, but the tires are not tall. So more than likely, it's going to get a set of cheap 1.9s. Now that was a little bit of clod stall, but the rear steer is actually into the link. So, and I can't adjust endpoints with the radio. So we're just doing some crawling here, and that's not too bad, but I'd like to get more control over the steering. I was thinking, you know, for sure on the servos, like I mentioned, but right now it appears they're actually okay. Partly because there's no real weight on anything, and I'm not planning to add a lot of weight either. So, but these tires, they've got to go. Probably be okay in the dirt, but then again, it doesn't have any speed to do anything. Obviously, got a lot of articulation to it. That was pretty good. Yeah, these tires, they are super stiff. Oh! Looks like we got another dropping up there. Not bad. We're going to try something a little more advanced here. And that's going to be to try this sideways line right here. If it gets this, that'll be awesome, but it's not even getting close. Let me try front steer only. See if I can do something a little bit better here with front steer only. Let that back end drop down a little bit. These tires are horrible. Front end to catch over. We got that. Good. Good. Ah, man. All right, let's try to steer this thing. All right, try another mode of four-wheel steer. Come on, come on. Oh. Wow. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, little dude. Wow. So close, but not quite. First drive done. All I can tell you guys is it is very mild. Very mild as opposed to what I'm used to driving. Different style. These tires have got to go. They may be okay on the trail for a trail truck or something just to bounce around. I mean, around here it's a lot of sand and dirt, and this tread pattern would probably work just fine in all honesty, but not for what I want to do. I have some Deepwoods tires right here. These are the original tires I put on SV1. So they're lightweight and they're cheap. I'll budget these out, price these, and make sure they're within budget. I'm going to take the servo savers off. I want to put just a regular straight horn on the front and back just to see what these servos have got. I definitely noticed the back end kind of flopping around a little bit. I believe that was the servo saver. I really want to just go crazy. I want to go way past the $130 limit, but I'm going to stay within that to try to make this go. Now, back to these tires right here. They're not that much smaller, but considering this is pretty much the size tire that I run on just about all my competition stuff, I think it'll work out okay. But overall first drive was, it's okay. It's okay. Got potential. Definitely needs a few things.
But guys, anyway, I'll find this. Hopefully, put a link down below. I'll also link these. I'll find some servo horns that I'm gonna put on this as well. And well, for now, it is what it is. Guys, check that description. AMain, eBay, Amazon, and Horizon. And they are affiliate links. They help out the channel when you guys use them. So guys, check that description. Use those links. Make sure you're subscribed. And thank you all for watching. I really should never sing again. Have a good day.
Guys, if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. So, in the description, there's a link to become a channel member. If you want to become a channel member, it's a very simple $2, $5, $10, or if you really got some money, $25 a month. It's a simple way to support the channel. So, get that, and I am doing monthly giveaways for members only, so you might want to consider it. So, guys, use those links. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you all for watching.